Welcome back to the Faith and Work Hour with your host Anthony Knight.
And Christopher White.
And we're going to start it off like we started off every morning with an inspirational reading. I actually got this from off TikTok.
On TikTok,
yeah. It says, not everyone staring at you is admiring you. Some are amazed you survived the traps they set for you. Makes sense. Some people just amazed that you survived the stuff that they put in front of you. They trap you up and they're amazed that you done survived that far.
Yeah, life is tough, man. Even tougher when you got people going against you.
That's always tough. It's always tough when your people going against you.
But I always try to make a friend.
No, that's what
I really put sit down and have a cup of coffee and let's talk about something.
No, I'll talk and he's that coffee.
I know you don't like coffee. I done bagged them up for it.
Well, that's good. That's good help. That's health ratifications. But we're going to get into a story that's been all over the news from CNN, the Smart News. And it's about the 12-year-old black child arrested by white police officer while taking out the trash. Now, they said he fit the criteria. Well, hold on. First of all, it was all white cops that was over there. Number one.
Yes, sir.
Why is it every time that a black person is getting arrested, mostly white cops die? Is they that short on black cops? Do they predominantly run those neighborhoods?
But it's always in the black neighborhood. You never see really black cops unless it's a more populated region. That could be the answer, but most times you see more white cops responding to black neighborhoods.
And when the black cops go to the white neighborhood?
That's what it seems like.
Okay.
And in spite of that, a lot of it, when they do show up, it always goes bad a lot.
Very fast.
Because we're, a lot of black, we're already profiled.
That's right. But why not, before you arrest a 12-year-old for taking out the trash and saying you fit the description, I'm so sick of hearing that the cops are always saying you fit the description.
Because, they always say that we all look alike. That's an old saying, but, just looking at me and you now, it's going to be kind of hard to mistake.
But when you want them, it doesn't matter. You fit the description.
I think it's just when you want, you hear that, when you hear race.
Yeah.
We're going to grab first one with you.
And that's what it is. And this it says a young black child was mistaken for a car thief. Suspect handcuffed and taken into police custody this week. As learned, the incident took place on Thursday when Tayshawn Bernard, 12, was taking out the trash outside his Lansing, Michigan home. So now you can't even take out the garbage. You gotta have, you can't even take out the garbage.
They're gonna be pretty rough, man. I can't even take out my garbage. Just taking your garbage, you risk getting arrested because you're profiled already, because something has happened. So we're supposed to be scared to get out and go walking around in our own neighborhood. I mean, which is already bad enough that
walking while black.
We deal with violence in neighborhoods already in general. But then the ones that are there supposed to help and protect us, we got to be fearful of them now.
You know what? This is something to think about. Somebody breaking your house, or you see it. Are you hesitant to call the police now?
I'm scared to call the police
because they might mistake you for being the burglar. It has happened.
Yes.
Multiple times. Yes. And it shouldn't be that way. You're here to protect and serve. Now, we can go back to the Transformer motto, which on that Decepticon it says... Okay.
He gave us the modern day cop of today back then. So, and those was something created in the future, so he was showing us what we had to look forward to.
But why would you be quick? Are you looking for somebody that bad that you just gonna pick any random person and say, well, they dressed alike?
But and I mean, don't take me wrong. We understand that there are some troubled kids in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that younger kids are committing crime. You know, but to just randomly walk up and just see a 12-year-old child because he fits the description, and you know, I don't know whether he dumped the garbage before they got there, after they got there, or but he wasn't at the car.
He wasn't at the car.
You know.
How many times we gonna have to hear about this? How many times do police? We heard about the one in Texas, which the black cop ran the family tags wrong, arrested their young son, and he was going to a basketball game, a tournament or something like that. You can't make mistakes like that because that traumatizes that child.
Yeah.
How do you keep making these bonehead mistakes over and over? Or now, are they mistakes at this point?
And the worst case is that these children are being traumatized yet now at a young age. Really knowing nothing about life, you know, some don't really can describe between right and wrong, but they're already being traumatized by police. So as you get older, as these kids grow up and get older, and they're seeing this growing their whole life.
Yeah.
You know, so how would you expect them to react to the police once they get grown? You
resentment.
You know, they're the old saying that people say about ghosts. You know, it's all well, you know, if they hear a sign, they gonna run.
Yeah.
You know, and you would always say that, you know, people would say that, well, you know, the ghost is one you ain't got to worry about. You got to worry about the barn.
Right.
And the sad thing is, now you have to worry about the police more than the criminals.
That's really unfortunate. Hey, look at me. I'm gonna stand up. I'm 6 feet. I want you to stand up.
Yes, sir.
Now, how they gonna mistake me for you? Now they gonna do it now.
But you bigger than I am.
But you fit the
I fit the description.
So the only thing you can do is just walk off and make sure that you are in a safe haven.
But here, I don't know. I hope you read on down to when they begin to give the description of what the call has been on. You know, it's
you handcuffed a 12-year-old.
12-year-old.
You wasn't guaranteed that this person was the victim. He wanted this. It says this is what his father said, and I can understand this. This is the boy's father, Michael Bernard, could also be seen berating the officer for traumatizing his 12-year-old son. He said, "You always use that excuse that you fit the description." Why is it only us that fit the description?
But here, I hope I know what step the description of, but it described that someone was attacking a car had on a neon colored shorts,
Yeah.
and a white t-shirt.
So they didn't make but one of those, huh?
But here's the thing.
But he had a great t-shirt on then.
How can you?
Okay, white and gray. How do you make that mistake?
I mean, you know, some things are.
So what you did, you got the first black person that you've seen that you profiled that looked just similar to this. But he said he's got a gray shirt on. Is that gray the new white now?
But now that tells me that my child is not even safe to go out and take out the trash.
But this, you know, the sad part about it, this is not the first time this done happened. Before.
There was a story where they had the whole family get out the van, had all the kids.
Oh yeah, they had them laying on the ground.
On the ground.
I remember that.
I think
they said the van was stolen.
And everybody how to know, you know, all the kids are hollering, "This is my mama car, this is my mama car." Now, I know you can expect them, you know, when you kind of look at an adult to lie.
Yeah.
You know, but
a child ain't gonna
a child, now if you want to find out something about somebody, have a conversation with their child.
A child is gonna tell you now.
If you have a conversation with their child, you're gonna find out the information.
That's right. This is happening way too often. And how many I'm sorry's or were you gonna get tired of the end? I'm sorry. We made a mistake. How do you keep making the same mistake over and over again when you got, now, if that's your child they got out there, how would you like that? But you can't, well, y'all should have did this, you should have did that. Well, why you ain't following the same rules that you're applying?
But we don't never hear about
Go ahead.
the other race.
You don't never hear about the white one being done like that. Let's just call it.
And now let's go back to the Montgomery incident.
Okay.
All right. Now here's the security that's supposed, tell them, hey, you can't dock here.
That's right.
But they are drunk.
That's right.
Ain't no whatever else it is, cause when we party now.
That's right.
So, but you don't see them being attacked. And you even had to have witness to telling the police, hey, they part of it too.
Yeah. But they don't believe it.
They don't believe it. So
I was told by police, your friend of mine, I ain't gonna name no names.
yes, sir.
That he said, I said, well, why do they, when you approach black people, why do you be so hostile? He said, because we were trained to be hostile to African Americans.
But this come back from history.
That's true.
And what was their, I like to say the wrong word, the guy that was saying that some of us learned from being in slavery.
Ron DeSantis.
Ron DeSantis. Now you train people how to mistreat another
That's exactly what you're doing.
human.
That's what you're doing. If you're gonna do that, why be a police? Is this your way to get back? A 12-year-old, let's read a little farther. It says, however, the family attorney disputed this claim and revealed that Tayshaun was actually wearing a gray shirt. So whoever called in just accidentally said it was white when it was gray. Mm-hmm. And they said the video of the arrest quickly went viral and garnered over 3.5 million views in under a day. The footage started with Tayshaun already placed in handcuffs just moments after he had dumped his trash in a large blue dump. So now we know he dumped the trash in the blue.
It was recorded.
It was recorded.
Yes, sir.
With all the cameras out here, if you're police, why would you do something to put yourself, your fellow officers in your precinct in this kind of light, or you just don't care?
They video hasn't been released yet.
Why not?
That's an individual.
That's
an individual. But you see what I'm saying? Once the media shows of what's really going on, what's happening, the police really don't turn it loose.
I'm just wondering why.
Is your recording gonna show something different than what's really going on? Y'all got some editors going on somewhere. Cause you can edit some things and make it look original.
Make it look a lot worse.
A
lot worse than that. You can edit and make yourself look like you're in California.
I can edit to make myself look good.
All right, anything's possible. But let's give them an update. And there's some information I just found out today. Well, we just found out today. We got a little bit more information on those 6 cops. Now we got a lot more information that came out now. It says, in January, the officer entered the house without a warrant and handcuffed and assaulted 2 men with stun guns, sex toys, and this and that. Okay, we went all that. They did this for 90 minutes straight. Mm-hmm. What we didn't know is that each one, now check this out. Now this is what bothers me. I know how they found out. Mm-hmm. It said in the article, one of the cops confessed to the chief what they did. So a conscience got on him. Now watch this confession. It says, each one agreed the sentence recommended by the state prosecutor ranging from 5 to 30 years. What happened to the 120 years? Where did that go? 5 to 30 years, that's a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get 30.
Yeah.
You more or less going to get 5. What I want to see, like we talked last time, life without parole.
Yeah.
If we did that, why would our consequences be higher than theirs?
Right. Yeah.
Then they supposed to be held to a higher standard.
And this is premeditated.
And it's premeditated.
Because they took all type of tools, necessities they wanted to use or whatever. So that means it's premeditated. This is plain.
Yeah. I don't get it, and it doesn't make any sense. You should not. Number one, once you find out they did this, they should be terminated. You should not be able to retire or resign because you keep your pension. You shouldn't even. Your pension should go to them guys. Every bit of it. You should never see the deal like. You shouldn't even be allowed to be a dog catcher. I'm just gonna be honest. You shouldn't even be allowed to run for dog catcher.
Catching your.
That's what they need to be catching.
And you know what? Because even somebody being fooled in certain scenarios, it doesn't fix the trauma, the emotionally, and the mental side. They are traumatized for the rest of their lives. And even people that bad things that happen to them at a young age. They're still, even with their being grown, you're still traumatized because there's something that damaged you dear.
So what happens when you have kids or siblings?
I'm gonna teach them to be the police.
That's what you're gonna do.
Or I'm gonna teach them to be against the police.
Shaq said something that I don't know if I agree with or not. He said, when my son get pulled over by the police, comply. Well, what happens when you're not doing anything? And you do comply, and you still get the same result. Yeah. See, some of these athletes live in this world
of fantasy.
This fantasy world that we don't live in. Mm-hmm. And you telling me, well, I'm gonna tell my son we can fight it in court. What if he complies and still gets shot? What are you fighting then?
And I can agree with Shaq to disagree. Mm-hmm. For one, I would, encourage you to try to comply.
That's it.
Hopefully you have you get stopped by an officer with the right heart.
That's it.
Because they're supposed to be, as he said, that they was trained to be hostile towards blacks.
That's what I was told.
You also should be able to evaluate a situation.
Should be able to.
Troubleshoot
it very quickly.
How they say, once a person show you who they are,
believe them.
Believe them. If I come out the car and I'm hostile, I'm showing you that I am a hostile individual.
I'm not gonna change from the time I get out of my car.
So, are the officers being rushed through their training right now? They're, they can't read.
Or they being trained.
You can be trained, but it's up to that individual to apply it to your everyday living.
But they're not applying it. Check this out. It says the officers warned Jenkins and Parker to go back to Jackson or their side of Pearl River. So you talking about the most black side of Pearl River.
Plantation side?
Plantation side. It said Jenkins and Parker were targeted because a white neighbor complained that two black men were staying at home with a white woman. Once again, why is this your business? Are you mad because they're not staying at your house? I said it last week and I'll say it again. Are you mad because they're not staying at your house? Parker was a childhood friend of the homeowner.
Yes.
So the nosy neighbor, which apparently had nothing else to do but keep her nose stuck in somebody else's house. I'm still wondering, and this is a question that I would love to ask this nosy heifer. Why are you worried about what goes on in somebody else's house if it doesn't concern yours? Did you want them to come to your house? But that's what the problem is.
That might be what, they got the rumors going around. She probably mad she wasn't getting the rumors,
So you just dealt yourself into a game that you had no business being.
No control over.
Every week we get reports of white cops misbehaving. Mm-hmm. When have we seen a report where black cops are misbehaving? I'm sure they there.
They're there, but they're very
few in between.
Because the consequences on the black cop will be much greater.
Very much.
Because if they're showing the citizens that type of brutality, even in the police force, it's got to be there. You can't how you gonna have it here and you don't deal with it right there inside where you live?
You know, I've read multiple articles, and one from USA Today that, and we remember this black police officer in Ohio State turned against her fellow officers.
Mm-hmm.
They fired her.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you fire somebody for doing something right?
It's the code.
The code.
All they say they have to sign some type of paper for a bar code or something.
So you don't turn against the other cop.
They can't. Something they can't do.
So
then
you're not upholding your oath then. So why are you a police? You ain't no better than the people out here doing the crime.
Just have the badge though.
That's just a get out of jail badge.
We talk about truck driving, and we know everybody that get in that truck. Guess what? They ain't fit to drive that truck.
Nope.
Everybody that wears the badge and that supposed to be for what the badge stands for, to uphold, they don't deserve it.
I remember a white lady did a lecture. I'll never forget this lecture. And she was talking to a predominantly white audience. And she said, I'm just going to paraphrase it. She said, which one of y'all would trade places with a black person? Everybody stood up. And she said, no, you didn't understand. Which one of y'all would want to be treated like a black person?
Everybody sat down. What?
And she said, let me. Which one of y'all would be treated like the black people in this country treated? Nobody stood up. And she said, then you know something is wrong. And that's what she said, if you wouldn't do it, why are you allowing it to be done? And you should have seen their faces. They just had this dumbfounded look on their face like, wow. I have a rich man. He said it was a joke that Chris Rock was saying. He said a white guy didn't have the money. He said, I'm rich. Chris Rock said, I'm rich. He said, would you trade places with me? He said, no, I'm gonna see how far this white thing can take. Yeah, it was a joke, but he wouldn't even trade places with a rich black man.
Because guess what? Sooner or later, it all gonna come. It all gonna come to the light.
Exactly.
And it's sad that we hear about so much racism, and it overpowers the few that are not racist, because not all are racist.
No, they're not.
But you read about racist actions in the news more than anything.
Every day.
And we travel different places, and in different states you see it, and it can't, no matter how, you can't hide who you really are.
You're not gonna be able to.
So even with the certain how blacks get, you can't hide who you are, because it's natural. So those cops, you can go through school and play like you all this, but guess what? When you get on your own, when you're alone, that's when the truth comes out of who you are.
I remember they said that about the Bible. It says it's easy to be a Christian when you're around other Christians. But can you be that same Christian when nobody's looking?
That's true. Because I can easily look good in front of you.
Yeah.
No problem, But when I'm alone, because that is between me and God. Even I've traveled sometime and I be on back road.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing but back roads, and you run into the stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
Now ain't nobody around me. I can run this stop sign,
but
I would know, and that would be on my conscience.
Yeah.
There
was police on the other side.
That's right.
Really.
So so some things you don't take chances on you.
That's right. But if you're not gonna be what the police badge and oath stands for, just don't be a police. If you be in the police to be a bully, just so you can tell, because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of police I've been watching on CNN and they don't know the law. Because they violate, and well, that's probably it, they don't care because they think they're above it. But why would you do it when you know this is the age of cameras? Everybody is recording you at some point.
Well,
why would you put yourself out there to be recorded doing something stupid that can get you and your department in trouble?
What you said, one word you said. What was that word?
Which one?
Stupid.
Stupid, yeah.
One thing I found out.
You can't
correct it.
No. You send him to jail.
Yeah, but you just can't correct it. So that means he wasn't just stupid when he got in the force. He done had some things covered up coming on down the road somewhere.
But so why we keep having this 2023 going on 24? Why are we still having the same blasted problems that we had 15, 20 years ago?
And then we fight back. We're the ones wrong. When we're going to the ones that is ain't supposed to make a change, and we don't get the change done, then we are always we're profiled to be the ones that's wrong.
Did you remember the video they did a while back? This young black kid, he was about two or three, seen the police coming and took up crime running up the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he see that from? Why did he show fear for the police at that age?
That's what
he's been exposed to.
Yeah.
And I remember the incident in Michigan, or was it Wisconsin? I think it was Wisconsin, where the man was complying, had his girlfriend and his child in the backseat.
Oh yeah.
And the police killed him right in front of him.
Yeah.
Come on.
Shot him in the passenger seat of the car.
Yeah. So this is a man that's complying, Shaquille O'Neal, and he still got killed.
Yeah.
So what kind of world? See, they recognize you.
Right.
They don't recognize me though. They don't recognize you. We don't have money. We don't have the power. We're not on TV every day. So they don't recognize me. Stephen A. Smith told a story that a police pulled him over in New York, cussing him out, until one other police pulled him to the side and say, "You know who that is?"
So you know what we talked about when you
Yeah, probably so. So police need to uphold that. A 2-year-old should not be scared of the police.
Yeah.
A 3-year-old, no kid should have fear of the police. They should be you should be safe around them.
Yeah.
They're not feeling safe anymore.
Cause we was taught that you ever got lost, you find your police. But now, it's gonna be if you ever get lost, you run away from the police.
The law just said, "I'll figure it out." I go to the fire department first. I got my odds, brother.
Yeah.
They don't carry guns.
But it's, for the police, what are the responses of the cops that are trying to uphold and knowing that this is in your department?
That's a good question.
How do
That's a good
I believe Joe Madison?
Yeah, Joe Madison.
He said, you can talk about the problem now.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do about it? For the officers for the good officers that are in the
why
department,
why are you not voicing?
And you know this is in there. What are you gonna do about it?
But you just said it. They signed they're not gonna turn on each other.
Well, what are you gonna do about it?
Nothing. Just let it go and ignore it. It's just like people who ignore racism. You don't acknowledge it, thinking it'll go away, that it don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Only a fool refuses to believe what he sees and hears.
Yes, sir.
Racism is not going anywhere unless the people who are not being discriminated on have a problem with it.
And the ones that are promoting it be held accountable.
That's right. Until then, ain't nothing gonna change.
That's just like there was a story where the man was fishing in his neighborhood, and the woman saw him out there fishing, and she came out there to harass him about fishing in the neighborhood, and so he recorded it and went viral. And the sad part is she lost her job.
She should have.
Yeah, she lost her job, but now
she want him to get him back.
She want him to help her get her job back. But guess what? She ain't had the decency enough to come back and apologize. But now, here's the funny part about this story. Now, the place they live in, guess what the name of it is? Plantation. So,
well, Mr. White, we had another good 30 minutes, but these 30 minutes just fly by. They go by so doggone fast that it's unheard of. But we will be back. Same time, same place next week with the Faith and Work Hour with yours truly, Anthony Knight.
Christopher White.
Y'all have a great day.